Welcome to English Page. Today, I want to tell you the fascinating story of the Statue of Liberty. This isn't just a statue, it's a symbol of freedom, hope, and friendship. If you've ever seen a picture of New York City, you've probably seen her. She stands tall on Liberty Island, raising a torch in one hand and holding a book in the other. The story of the Statue of Liberty begins in the 1860s. At that time, France and the United States had a strong friendship. France had helped the United States during the American Revolution. The two countries shared ideas about freedom and democracy. In 1865, a French historian named Édouard de la Boulaye had an idea. He wanted to give the United States a gift to celebrate its 100th birthday. But not just any gift. He wanted it to be something big, something meaningful, a statue that represented liberty. Laboulaye shared his idea with a French sculptor named Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Bartholdi became very excited. He imagined a giant woman standing tall with a torch in her hand, lighting the way to freedom. He began designing right away. He called the statue Liberty Enlightening the World. It took years to design and build. France agreed to build the statue, and America would build the base. But there was a problem. Money. It was very expensive. Both countries had to raise funds. In France, people gave donations. Even school children gave coins. In the U.S., the famous publisher, Joseph Pulitzer, ran newspaper ads asking Americans to donate. He promised to print the name of every person who gave money. People responded. Even poor workers gave what they could. Slowly, the money came in. There were also fundraisers, concerts, and art shows, all meant to raise the money needed to finish the project. Bartholdi built the statue in parts. First, he created a small model, then larger models. Finally, he built the full statue in pieces of copper. It was like a giant puzzle. Each piece was made in France, then packed into crates and sent across the ocean to America. There were 350 pieces in total. The statue was so big, it had to be shipped in over 200 separate crates. The journey began in 1885. When the ship carrying the statue arrived in New York Harbor, people cheered. It was called the Isère, and it took several weeks to cross the Atlantic Ocean. New Yorkers gathered on the docks, waving and shouting. But when the statue arrived, the base still wasn't finished. The pieces sat in storage for months. Workers finally completed the pedestal in 1886. The statue was then carefully assembled on Liberty Island, which was called Bedloe's Island at the time. The process of putting the statue together took 4 months. Workers used iron and steel to support the copper skin from the inside. A man named Gustave Eiffel, yes, the same engineer who built the Eiffel Tower, designed the internal structure. Thanks to his design, the statue could stand strong even in strong winds and storms. On October 28, 1886, the Statue of Liberty was officially unveiled. Thousands of people gathered. Ships sounded their horns. President Grover Cleveland gave a speech. It was a proud day. The statue stood 151 feet tall from base to torch. With the pedestal, it reached over 300 feet into the sky. Fireworks lit up the sky that night, and many newspapers wrote about the celebration. But what does the Statue of Liberty actually mean? Every part of her design has a message. The torch she holds high represents light and knowledge. It shows the path to freedom. The tablet in her left hand shows the date July 4th, 1776, the day America declared independence. She wears a crown with 7 rays, one for each continent and ocean, to show that freedom should spread around the world. At her feet are broken chains, showing freedom from slavery and oppression. Her right foot is raised, showing that she is always moving forward, stepping toward a better future. One of the most powerful things about the statue is how she welcomed immigrants. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, millions of people came to America looking for a better life. They arrived by ship, often after long and difficult journeys. The first thing many saw was the Statue of Liberty. For them, she was a sign of hope, a new beginning. Some even cried when they saw her. They believed they were entering a land of opportunity and freedom. One immigrant wrote in a letter, "When I saw the lady, I knew I had made it. I was finally in America. I cried tears of joy." For many people, the statue was not just a symbol. It was the first friendly face in a new world. Inside the statue is a staircase that leads all the way to the crown. Visitors who climb it can look out over the harbor. It's not easy, 354 steps, but the view is worth it. You can see the skyline of New York City and the boats moving through the water. It's a reminder of how far people have come. Over the years, the statue has needed repairs. The copper turned green from the weather, but that green color, called patina, actually protects the metal underneath. It took about 20 years for the statue to turn green. This color is now one of her most famous features. In 1984, the statue was closed for major restoration. Workers replaced the torch, repaired the internal structure, and cleaned every inch. 2 years later, in 1986, she reopened, just in time for her 100th birthday. There were fireworks, celebrations, and millions of visitors. Since then, the statue has been carefully maintained by the National Park Service. The Statue of Liberty is more than a gift from France. She is a symbol of the values that people around the world believe in: freedom, peace, and opportunity. Over time, she has appeared in books, movies, and even stamps. She's a part of American identity. Today, people from all over the world visit Liberty Island. They take photos, walk through the museum, and reflect on the meaning of liberty. Teachers bring students, families come to learn about history, and every day, boats pass by her as she stands tall, reminding everyone what she represents. Did you know the statue is made of copper, but looks green because of the patina? Or that her full name is Liberty Enlightening the World? Or that lightning hits her about 600 times a year? There are so many fascinating facts. But the most powerful part is her message: the idea that everyone deserves freedom and dignity. Even today, the Statue of Liberty inspires people. When times are hard, when people feel lost or afraid, they can look at her and remember that hope still exists. Her torch is always held high, showing the way. She is not just a statue. She is a story, a message, a dream. In recent years, the Statue of Liberty has also become a popular subject in art and literature. Poets write about her, artists paint her from every angle, and tourists share photos with the world. She has become a global icon, one that represents the dream of a better life. Every generation finds new meaning in her image. She continues to stand for those who seek safety, opportunity, and a chance to be free. Technological advances have also changed how we see the statue. Drones now capture stunning aerial views, and virtual reality experiences let people explore the statue even if they can't visit in person. Documentaries tell her story in new ways, and school children learn about her as a symbol of what the world can become. And Liberty Island itself has changed too. The museum was recently updated to include more stories about the people who made the statue, the immigrants who were welcomed by her, and the artists and engineers who brought her to life. Visitors can now see her original torch, kept safely inside, and learn about her construction and journey. There's even a second Statue of Liberty. In Paris, a smaller version stands near the Seine River, facing west, toward the original statue in New York. It's a beautiful symbol of friendship between two nations, across the sea, across time. Every time someone stands in her shadow, looks up at her crown, or reads the famous poem by Emma Lazarus, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," they become part of the statue's story. It's a story that began more than a century ago, but it hasn't ended. And that's why the Statue of Liberty still matters. She stands not just as a monument to the past, but as a light for the future, a reminder of who we are and who we can become. Here are some vocabulary words from today's story. Liberty, freedom to live as you choose. Pedestal, the base or support of a statue. Sculptor, a person who creates statues or carvings. Donation, money or gifts given to help a cause. Assembly, the act of putting parts together. Crown, the headpiece worn by a queen or king, or the top of something. Patina, the green color that forms on copper over time. Restoration, the act of fixing or bringing something back to its original condition. Symbol, something that represents an idea. Inspired, to give someone hope or a strong feeling to do something. Thanks for watching English Page. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more storytelling videos. See you in the next one.